Here we are in Asheville, North Carolina, and today we're looking at the top reasons why people are leaving Asheville, why they're getting out of Dodge. What do you think it is? I bet it's going to be a little bit of a surprise to you, or maybe not. Stay tuned. So I did this Facebook poll. It wasn't really a poll, it was just a question on my Facebook page. It was like, why are people leaving Asheville? Because I need a little research, because I myself, I'm not leaving Asheville. I've moved here twice. I love Asheville. Asheville's where my people are. Asheville is where I love to go and eat and hang out and do the things. The biggest response that I got was the gap between the amount of money that people make and the cost of living in Asheville. But these James Beard award-winning restaurants that I talk about all the time and the cool places to hang out, if I were working my tail off every single day in Asheville, and I wasn't able to afford to enjoy it, I'd go too. But where are they going? Where are the locals moving? They're going outside the city. They're going to places like Weaverville, Fairview. They don't want me to tell you this, of course. Weaverville, Fairview, Black Mountain, a little bit outside, like kind of what we talked about. For every 100 people, I'm in the middle of everything, so for every 100 people that leave Asheville, there's 300 people that come to Asheville. So what does that tell you? That could be another reason why people are leaving Asheville. We're making a video about Asheville.
Okay.
And I put on my Facebook page today, like, why are people leaving Asheville?
Yes.
And one of the main things that I got was like the discrepancy and the gap between the cost of living and the wages people
Why
earn.
are people leaving Asheville?
Yeah.
Well, that is a surprise to me.
I know.
Thought everyone was coming here. I didn't hear that anyone was leaving.
Yeah.
Everyone's coming.
Well, it's really,
Yes.
no one is.
Yes.
There's not a lot of people that are
coming.
leaving.
Oh, that are leaving, right?
There's not a lot of people
No.
that are leaving.
No.
But
Yes.
on my Facebook page today,
Yes.
I was like, why are people leaving Asheville?
Yes.
And the biggest thing
Yes.
that
Well,
people
if you
said
would
was...
leave, you can't afford to. Yeah, you can't afford a house with the cost of living.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's normal.
Yeah, that's normal.
Yeah, there you go.
Is
Yeah,
it okay?
well, it's not okay, of course not. It's my restaurant. I lived in Hawaii as well. Everyone left Hawaii after COVID. They couldn't afford it. Yeah.
So one of my favorite places back in the day is the Great Eagle, and this is now what's located in the River Arts District of Asheville, and this is something that wasn't there years and years ago. Not the Great Eagle. The Great Eagle was already there. But what wasn't here was all the buildup around the artists and really taking that and crafting what kind of was an urban area and making it into a tourist destination. If you want an idea of who plays here, you can check this out. Now, the Great Eagle is a smaller music venue, but has really quality acts. You might not have heard of all of them, but there's a reason they're here. If you don't know Baby Gramps, you gotta know Baby Gramps. So one of the cool things about the Great Eagle is they have a wonderful taqueria. And so it's like a twofer. You get music and great tacos in the same place. So because we don't have enough places for people to live and they all want to live in Asheville, you're seeing all this development everywhere. And sometimes people know what it is and sometimes people don't. There are so many buildings going up all over Asheville right now that it's hard to say. They're going up so quickly, and they're like halfway through everywhere. So here's another one that's going up, and this is in the heart of the River Arts District, like which I said used to be just like this industrial area that wasn't densely populated at all. And this is where all the galleries are. This is where the artists congregate and whatnot. Because it became that because it was affordable. It became the artists' hangout because it was affordable to be there and to have a studio there. And now they've flipped it, marketed it, and now it's one of the most desirable places to be in Asheville because you're so centrally located on the French Broad River and in like the scene. So when I moved here in 2001, everyone had told me that I had missed it. I had already missed all the cool stuff that was happening in Asheville. And I thought to myself, well, heck, man, like I'm not experiencing that at all. Like this place seems incredible to me. And this is before everything that's here now, you know? So mid-'80s, Asheville decided to pump a lot of money into marketing because they were trying to revitalize the downtown. because it was kind of in a slump. Well, they did a really, really good job. And it turns out they started making a lot of money. And people started coming to visit Asheville. And then they created a whole PR department. And they travel around now to different places and different events. And they advertise for Asheville. I know I'm totally backlit, but hey. I love those Zoom bus. If you ever see the big purple bus going around and you are in Asheville, you have to give like a hey and wave, because they're always going to wave back. They're having a great time. So all of a sudden, Asheville was on every magazine cover you could think of. When I first moved here, people didn't even know what I was talking about. They're like, "You're moving to Nashville?" I'm like, "No, Asheville, North Carolina." So it was just a big old mess. Nobody even knew about it. They were trying to get it pumped back up. Well, they hired the right people. They sure did. And now it is popular. Like, look at this. Asheville Rooftop Bar Tours. This is just a van that's going by right now. We didn't have that when I moved here. There were no rooftop bars at all. So all of a sudden, Asheville became #1 retirement city, Beer City, USA. You know, all these things that were kind of created and crafted in a marketing sense. Like, look at our bus stops. Like, this is a bus stop. Does that look like a regular bus stop in a city? So all these things were kind of crafted and marketed to take the authentic, artsy Asheville that made Asheville really cool. I'm talking about like the underground nature of what was happening here with music and with parties and the whole scene that was transpiring of inclusiveness and coolness. And they used it to bring more people here, which is super smart, right? I mean, the people that were doing their job did a really great job at their job. But what happened is people could no longer afford to live here. The people who made it so really, really special and they created the scene that was so different from any other place that people had experienced before are now priced out. And they have nowhere to go. So they're working the jobs and they're still trying to be artists and make it here in Asheville. And all of a sudden, what's happened is people are moving from all different places and they're coming in because Asheville is so hot and cool and they can no longer afford to live here. So they're working a service job somewhere instead of being an artist like they planned. Okay, so now we're headed over to the South Slope area. And this is one of the areas of Asheville that has changed the most. And when we talk to people and we say, okay, why are you leaving Asheville? And we talk about, well, Asheville's changed a lot. You know, it depends on who you're talking to, whether the addition of the South Slope area is a good thing or a bad thing, because the South Slope is where all the breweries are. And that area used to be housing. That area used to be kind of urban, industrial. There was just not a lot there in general. And now there's like 26 breweries. And people love it. I mean, don't get me wrong, people move here. They love craft beer. They dig it. But the people who lived here before, it's not why they lived here. They didn't live here for the hopes that one day they'd build a brewery in their front yard. Look at this guy. Are you having a bachelorette? Are you on a bachelorette party?
Bachelorette 50th birthday party.
So when did you move here?
I don't live here, but I come here a lot, so yeah. So
you don't live here at all? Never? Okay. Well, how have you seen Asheville change?
A lot, but I'm not going to go, it's not all for the good, but some good.
That's okay. It doesn't have to be.
I mean, some of it's
We're talking about why people are leaving Asheville.
Oh yeah, it's gotten a little crazier downtown. It's not as fun and safe as it once was.
Okay.
But it's still a great town.
But it's different, and you're still like somebody who knows Asheville really well, and you are doing the Hot Zone Party Spire Engine.
Yeah, I think I got to get
LLC.
But,
okay, thank you.
Yeah,
I'll see you later.
Yeah, hey, it was really good to see you.
Yeah, you too. Bye. What does it mean for locals? It means sometimes you're inconvenienced, right? There's a lot of people walking around. There's things happening. There's pubsicles going down the road. There's bachelorette parties on fire trucks. You know, there's all kinds of things that are happening there. You're like, what? This is like just a tourist town. But here's the deal. It's not just a tourist town. If you go outside of Asheville and you go outside into the suburbs, that's where the locals are. That's where the real Asheville is happening. And I'm talking to you right now from downtown Asheville for a reason. Because this is the part, the catalyst, that is causing people to leave, is because we have put our marketing dollars into promoting Asheville at a time where we maybe need to think about pulling back from that to sustain the quality of life that we know and love here. So one of the interesting things that developers are doing now, it's called missing middle development, which is where they're taking these really small lots and they're putting homes on them. They may be tiny homes, but they can't be with wheels or anything like that because the city of Asheville won't allow for that. So they are on real foundations, but they're just super, super tiny on really small lots. Like they could be 1 bedroom and 1 bath. And they're more affordable options for people because they're modular homes and they're on tiny footprints like this one behind us. It recently sold in 2022. It's 336 square feet, so it's super tiny. But the backyard is, it still has a lot of backyard and a really big deck that's almost as big as the house. Because why? We live most of the time outside here anyway. So why not enjoy it? You don't need to be inside all the time. So that's one way that people are combating affordable housing here. So we're like downtown right now into an area, and there's a new hotel that I've never even heard of right downtown called the Zelda Dearest. Here's a new hotel that just popped up. I mean, I was here 2 months ago. I mean, this is an old building, of course. Never saw that before. So what's really cool about this growth in general is that they are not taking up as much space. I mean, we do have condos popping up next to really old buildings. So another one of the draws of Asheville is if you look behind me, these historic homes that are in the area. I mean, Asheville started as a retreat place in the first place from the Vanderbilts. So it's not like we just created this all overnight. It just was a dream that somewhat dwindled. And what's happened to the people that we've seen coming here is it started out with this fiery, artistic momentum to make Asheville what it is today. And then slowly, the number one thing that I hear is that they can no longer afford to live here. And so the people that are moving here now have kind of a lot of money, They're in a different phase of their life. So in some ways, Asheville has aged a bit. Where you don't have to have necessarily a job, or you're a remote worker, or you're an early retirement fire type of person. So the demographic of what we thought of as Asheville before has shifted too. And sometimes it doesn't always mesh with the people who want to be here. There are so many hotels here now, and there's a strong tax on that too. And what I think is really interesting, there's the tax on the Airbnbs, the short-term rentals, and the hotels, and 2/3 of that tax is required, quote unquote, to go back into the marketing and the promotion of Asheville. Now, don't get me wrong, the other 1/3, of course, is put back into the people that actually live in Asheville. But the rest of it is required for the... You almost stepped on the dog. The continuous promotion of the city. So good and bad. Okay, so what does it mean for locals? It means sometimes you're kind of inconvenienced.
Oh, hey there.
Hi! Are you actually pedaling? So here's what I found. There's not many people that I know that have lived in Asheville, that I've been friends with, that have left. There's not many people that have moved away if they didn't have to. Or maybe they went traveling, but they always come back. So as much as people talk about leaving Asheville and one of the reasons they would head out of town, there's just not a lot of people that I know that are actually doing it. I mean, if they do it, it's like they're moving 30 minutes away or something like that. I found Asheville to be a really wonderful place to live, even with more people here. I mean, we're slowly growing and getting, we're having some growing pains and everything like that, but all in all, it's a pretty good experience. You want to talk about it? Oh, okay. Now we're going to check out one of the coolest new things that has come to Asheville called the Radical. But it incorporates art and everything Asheville into a boutique hotel experience That's all I know. And there's art in the rooms, and let's go check it out. This is the Radical, right? Yes. This is the Radical. What's going on here?
So we are a new boutique hotel here in Asheville in the River Arts District, which we refer to as RAD.
Yeah.
So why not Radical? We have 70 guest rooms. We have a rooftop bar that opens daily at 4 o'clock with unobstructed views of the French Broad River and the River Arts District. And then we also have an in-house restaurant, Golden Hour. It is run by Jacob Sessions, who also has Table and All Day Darling. Nice. Yeah, so he is a very well-known chef here in the Asheville area. And then we will soon have our coffee shop and bakery, Afterglow. So coffee shop and bakery by day, and then DJ and bar lounge area by evening time.
Howdy.
You have been running through my thoughts.
So here we are, sunset in Asheville, overlooking the River Arts District, the French Broad River. Everything in Asheville is right here. It's absolutely fabulous to be out here right in the middle of November, and it feels so dang good. If you want to know more about Asheville, hit the subscribe button. Watch these videos so that you'll know everything you need to know before you arrive.